You're listening to Cattywampus.
So Brian has this movie that he wants us to watch. It's called Mandy, and we decided that it would be unconscionable to watch Mandy without experiencing more of Nicolas Cage's oeuvre. And
Deep dive.
in this very deep dive, this ongoing series.
We're drowning.
So this time we watched The Wicker Man, the 2006 remake of the British horror classic, written and directed by Neil LaBute. LaBute? LaBute. Neil LaBute.
Don't care.
LaBute.
Not a good guy.
Not, yeah.
I'm sure he's a fine person.
Not a
I'm
good
sure
filmmaker.
I'm sure he'd be fine to everyone in this room for one specific reason: we're not women.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. I retract that. I'm sure he'd be fine to certain parts of the internet.
Yes,
Certain
parts.
quarantined websites.
From a certain point of view, Neil LaBute is the hero.
Yeah.
Right, from a very specific point of view.
So The Wicker Man, for those who don't know, the original classic Wicker Man is this wonderful little British movie with Christopher Lee about a kind of creepy proto-European pagan island set in the modern day. Though a cop comes looking for a missing child, you find out that they're actually going to sacrifice him in a big Wicker Man that they set on fire.
It's pretty good.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
the original was a
This,
fantastic film.
This Nicolas Cage movie is not the same.
So yeah, what Neil LaBute is.
Let's just call him Neil.
What Neil decided to do.
Mr. Neil.
Well, good old
Good
Neil.
old Neil.
Good old Neil.
What Neil bin Labutish said. Oh, I assume that's his full Christian name.
That's his pagan name.
Lord Neil. So Neil decided, what if it weren't about women who are just being kind of abusive and manipulative towards Nick Cage, who's abusive and manipulative like back, and everyone's just kind of hateful. And Nick Cage just ended up like hitting women a lot until they burned him to death after killing him with bees as well.
Arguably the best part of the movie.
Oh, him hitting women?
No, the last
I was
10
about
minutes.
to say, you might want to choose your words more carefully. You know what
No.
my favorite part was? Nicolas Cage walking around and punching women in the face.
See,
To be fair, I think they
disagree.
deserved it, though.
I disagree.
Oh. Boy, have I got a website for you.
I disagree. My favorite part of the movie is when he wakes up from a dream within a dream and literally goes, "God damn it!" Like he's angry at himself for having multiple dreams.
Yeah.
I took that as more he was just angry that trope was used on him in this film.
So just to double check, if I'm in a life or death situation and it's either I punch a woman or I die, it's not
So,
okay to
be
pick
fair,
punching
he
the
started,
woman.
He started hitting women long before he was in a life or death
After
situation.
he found the dead bodies and was
Yeah.
lied to multiple times.
Then pull your gun and arrest them with your handcuffs. Don't go in. Don't go in with
the fucking
Go in
Just
and
don't go
fist-
giving them the fucking haymaker.
I
Yeah, no.
I get that.
A woman lying to you does not let you hit them.
He literally
So-
Chuck Norris poor Lily Sobieski into a wall.
He walked up. He walked up to a woman and just clocked her. She was like, "Hey, you can't be up here, clock!" Like,
He was done with her shit. He'd been dealing with her shit for 3 days, 4 days maybe.
No, he was just tired of being in this film.
That's what I
They
was
shot
saying.
it sequentially, and by the end of it, he just wanted everyone to go away.
He's just punching his way out.
yeah.
So for those who don't know, this one adds a couple of things. Basically, so he's still a cop, but now he's got an ex-fiance who reveals that the missing daughter is his, and it's all this kind of BS. Also, the island makes honey, and the harvest was bad. They're putting fetuses in bottles, and
I don't know what was up with that. They didn't really dive into that. All we know is that the doctor of the island, you can't
Frances
see
Conroy.
the air. Yeah, you can't see the air quotes, but I'm putting air quotes because she's also the town photographer.
pretty sure when he knocked on the door and it said her name, the doctor was in quotes, right?
Yeah, I'm doctor of photos, and by photos I mean I kind of know how to take one like I was in 1850, but they're all gonna look really bad.
No. Okay, so the movie begins. Papyrus font. Things are starting off well. We come in to Nicolas Cage witnessing the horrific accidental killing of a mother and child from a semi that goes off the road.
So we got a few good cuts of Nicolas Cage being a good cop, Just showing up and be like, you know
Tickets.
what you do. Like, pulling
Yeah,
people
right.
over, here's a
But you
Tickets.
can
ticket.
tell he's really going for the motions.
Yeah.
He's really like, I don't
Yeah.
care.
And like he sees a stuffed animal on the ground, he swings down to pick it up.
No,
and
he
it's
seems like he's a good cop.
He's a good
honestly,
cop.
like
Yeah.
like he's not a bad guy at the beginning of this movie. You know,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have punched women then.
well,
Well, they made him do it. Okay.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean,
Anyway.
they did spend most of this film gaslighting him into thinking a little child didn't exist, which was weird.
David, why didn't you release this episode? Well, the cops confiscated it. They said it was going to be used as evidence in the trial of Brian.
So what I don't get is why did he have this thing where he tried to save this woman and child from this car after it got
What I
hit
don't
by
get is
semi?
how they faked it. Because they're there at the end.
Right. So did they fake it or did he?
They
fake
had
it?
to have.
Or
he was
like
there.
what?
So they're
happened?
there, and his cop friend,
But
his female
he-
cop friend's there too.
But he never said that his fiance died. He just said she went.
Well,
so
he-
how
no,
did
no, no. I mean
fiancé
the
didn't
woman.
die.
The woman begins.
The
with his
woman that was
fiancé.
in the car at the beginning was his fiance.
So then it was that kid not the kid?
No. But they're
Okay.
there at the end at the Wicker Manning.
Okay. I got turned around because I thought it was the woman and the kid.
No. They're
Okay.
different. No. But they're there.
So they faked it to traumatize
I
him.
think
don't
that's
know.
what
him
that
to
little
go help with the honey.
explosion in the back of the car that throws him back and knocks him out. I think that was almost a planned, like there was a small explosive in the back to do that.
That's too
so
deep.
that he could
That's-
they could
that's
get
too
out.
deep.
well, yeah, the ye old arsonist shop.
Yeah. At this point, I don't
Ye
put
old
it past them.
pyrotechnics.
Like
Mrs. Violet. I'm sorry. What was their? What did the women go
No,
by?
it's
sister.
all
Sister Violet
Rose.
planted
Sister,
all
yeah,
those
a sister, and it
explosives.
has to be a plant.
So
Yeah.
Sister Rose.
Yeah.
At the,
yes,
Sister
Sister
Rose is-
Pussy Willow.
I'm tired of these damn flower names or whatever.
Yeah, it was like another plant, and
Another
I was like,
plant.
"Ooh, that's another weird phrase for you to use." To
Yeah.
the point where, so I guess, so we're beating around the bush. But long story short, he goes to the island.
Sister Bush.
Sister Bush. He's going. Yeah, we're beating around the bush, much the way Nicolas Cage punched Sister Bush in the face. But basically, it's the Wicker Man. He goes to the island. He's looking for the daughter. They're all weird and creepy, and they trick him into.
They're all assholes
Yes.
too. Like
well, that's the key other thing too. Is
That's
the
what's
original Wicker
weird.
Man.
They're all nice.
They're very nice and inviting because they need him for their sacrifice, for their harvest.
And they want him to, technically the whole goal is to get him of his own free will to go somewhere and be killed. Or
Yeah.
sacrifice himself. So how the fuck do you get somebody to go somewhere of their own free will when everything you're doing is pushing them away?
At any time, Nicolas Cage might have either died or turned away. And then what the fuck do they do? Like, what is plan B?
Yeah.
Well, especially it comes up later when they lock him in that just underground water tunnel and leave him there. What if he had just not been able to swim anymore and drowned?
What,
I
when they
guess
stage a
that's-
semi-truck accident, what if a piece of metal had flown off one of the cars and smashed through his face? And they're like, oh, fuck.
Better luck next year.
Well, they also had been planning this for apparently a decade prior to this moment, so at any point he could have just, died. He was a cop,
lost a
so
leg, went blind.
he was a highway patrolman, which has a really high fatality rate.
He drives a motorcycle every day.
This movie's
Stupid
awful.
plan. Yeah, this movie's awful.
The original Wicker Man makes sense.
Aside from
in some ways.
Yeah, aside from the horrible subtext of this movie, it's also just bad.
Yeah.
But one of the things that was very clear as we started watching it was like, this is like the incel Bible.
Oh no, it very much is just like
this kinda
this is what would
predates-
happen if women
Did not-
ruled the world.
did not take long for that to become apparent after he got to the island. It was
Didn't
pretty,
take long to-
It was pretty quick.
Yeah, this is like,
The only kids in the school were women or little girls. The only people out there that actually seemed to get any good jobs or good work were the women. The only ones that didn't have their tongues viciously ripped out,
we assume.
we assume. Well, I mean, none of them could speak unless
maybe
you
they
know
just didn't.
none of them had their SAG card.
Like a couple of them seemed like
We
they were
can't find
trying.
any men who are qualified outside of Cage. All right then.
No, it's baffling too because it presents this nightmare reality of like, if women ruled, well, men would just become weird breeding sacks,
I
and
guess we'll just get sacrificed in Wicker Man.
yeah, we guess we'd all just get Wicker Man. That's what women really want to do. They're all witches who want to burn you, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I just don't understand why all of that came up when none of that was in the original. I mean,
I-
maybe he wanted his own little spin on it, but that's not a spin. That's
It
just
feels like a Neil Butte special.
My guess is he wasn't very popular in middle through high school, and this is just all kind of coming out now.
It's weird.
What other movies has he made?
In the Company of Men,
That's a good start.
The Shape of
Well,
Things,
I think we could stop there.
In the
Yeah.
Company of Men. In the Company of Men, a Wicker Man
Lakeview
story.
Terrace with Sam Jackson and Patrick
I
Wilson.
think I saw that one.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite subgenre of movies, which is we can't move, and I'm like, just move. It's always the same kid. It's the wife comes to the husband and goes, "We need to leave because of whatever the external threat is to them in the house." And the husband goes, "We can't move."
This is our home.
Yeah, I'm like, just leave, just leave. The minute Sam Jackson came at me with a chainsaw across my fence, I'd be like, "Pack your bags." Anyway, Neil LaBute. Those are the kind of films he's made. I mean, I guess the biggest female actress in the movie is Ellen Burstyn. Mother Summerisle, Sister Summerisle. They're all sisters.
Yeah, she goes by Summer Isle.
That's just because that's just from the original Lord Summerisle.
Yeah, it seems lazy enough that's what it would do. So
I liked the Overland scene where Ellen Burstyn is like, "We were Celtic and we migrated all the way here off the coast of California," and I'm like, "Oh yes, the Celtic population, right off the coast of Orange County." And I'm like, "What are you talking? Like Catalina, popularized by the Celts?"
To this island that looks more like a peninsula. Like, I don't know where they.
It's more of a fjord.
I don't know where they filmed this, but it didn't look like an island to me. I don't know.
Well, this is always a problem with a movie like this, which is the geography of the island, where things are, and the movie has no patience, no time to do any of that. And so as a result, you're just like, I don't know what's happening or when or where.
Well, like, I don't know. He's on this island,
Yeah.
quotations, and he didn't see this giant towering Wicker Man.
oh, they
until
made
the
it while he
very
was
end.
asleep.
Well, I'll tell you the one that kind of like threw me was eventually when he reconnects with his fiance and they go to her house, he can see where the plane lands. Right out the window. Yep. And I'm like, so when you came in, you basically stopped in front of her house and then they pointed you to the bar. Now, granted, they're trying to manipulate him and tell it again, but this is all why it doesn't make sense. I'm like, just have her show up immediately and be like, "Thank God you're here." Like, what the fuck? Like,
Wouldn't she have been expecting him if she sent for him?
yeah, like their con doesn't make sense.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work on any level. They're just like, why
Well,
the fuck
it
are you
also
here?
has-
This is our island.
Well, it also assumes every movie trope of that at any point it would have been wise for him to call for backup or just leave.
He couldn't call for backup. He tried.
There's a boat somewhere on that damn island.
There was a little
I
rowboat
promise.
literally next to the thing.
And he said it was only a couple of miles to
Yeah.
Summer Island
Said
at the
he
very
could-
beginning.
Said he could swim it.
He could practically swim it, so he could row back to the
Seems-
mainland.
Now you might be thinking, "Oh, that's a really good Act 1 setup for when he tries to swim away from the island." That never happens.
No. He only swims once.
Yeah, once.
Technically,
To get
most of
to a
his swimming,
plane
most of his
that
swimming
he
is in
had
a dream.
sat there waiting for the pilot to show back up.
It's true, Brian. He does a lot of dream
He
swimming.
does a
in this
lot of
movie.
dream swimming.
He does a lot
does.
of dream everything in this movie. Dream Nicolas Cage
and
is
I-
a much better character in this film than Nicolas Cage.
And I didn't understand why they killed their only, I guess, connection to the outside world.
Oh yeah, well,
That
yeah.
their
They
killed the
fuck.
pilot
their airplane
of that
pilot.
plane.
They're like, yeah, he brings us whatever resources they need, I guess. And he's like, yeah, we're private people. We don't ask questions. And then they kill him.
Yeah, we had
What?
really bad harvest last year. I'm like, maybe because you're wasting your time covering some naked woman in bees for a room. Maybe those bees should be making
Okay,
some
first
fucking
of
honey.
all, that naked bee room was for ambiance.
Right, yeah, but again, like, oh, we had a bad harvest. I'm like, then maybe bees should be treated with a little bit more, like, it's the equivalent of me being like, you water, like
Water your bees?
Water your, it's like,
Yeah, go water your bees.
We have a water shortage, and I'm just like sitting here just dumping a water bottle out, being like, look at the pretty color.
We got a water shortage. I'm going to go sprinkle my lawn.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Naked bee woman is the equivalent of
Or maybe don't pour bees on Nicolas Cage.
yeah, what the fuck? Like,
We need more honey, so let's waste these bees real quick.
it's
Or maybe don't make mead. I don't know. What the fuck were they doing with the honey other than mead?
oh yeah, like what? Oh, they're selling mead.
I mean, were they selling the honey? Was that ever explained? Like what the honey
I
was
have no
really
idea.
for?
They're selling the mead. The
Or
popular.
wait, were they
drink
even saying
mead.
that? Okay, so the honey was the thing that had a bad harvest the previous
Yes,
year.
the honey was a bad harvest. I'm looking it up right now.
How
I
does
think
one have a bad honey harvest?
In the
I can only assume-
if you have all those bees, how do you not have any honey?
Well, I know you can have like hive collapse. So
Do they have?
I
do they
get
have,
it.
a-
I
did
know
Winnie
what
the Pooh-
happened.
Winnie the Pooh showed up.
Yeah, the Pooh Bear.
Yeah, the
That's
Pooh Bear
exactly what I
incident.
think.
Yep.
Oh, the president of China.
Yeah. Xi
showed up.
Jinping
Yeah.
showed up.
He had more than a smackerel.
Yeah.
Oh, bother.
He had a rumbly in his tumbly, and he annexed the entire hive.
Do you think they burned him in a wicker bear?
You'll have a whole family of bears.
Eeyore, what are you doing in the crowd?
I'm pretty sure there was a goat or a donkey in the Wicker
I've
Man.
converted.
No, there were a lot of animal sacrifices in like the legs of the Wicker Man, all the way up to like the heads.
I worship the goddess of the earth.
I guess another question I have is, so apparently Nicolas Cage's fiance's mother is the queen of their...
I don't know. It's
That's
not.
that's a
the
last
leader?
minute reveal, which is that Ellen Burstyn is also the grandmother of the child,
Right.
and the mother of Nicolas Cage's
Which is
ex-fiancé.
so pointless.
If I dated somebody for long enough to marry them and or have a kid with them, maybe, probably want to meet their mom.
I mean, at any point, she could have just been like, yeah, my mom died when I was younger.
I don't know. At the same time, I think I mentioned it while we were watching it. If an ex-girlfriend and or ex-wife hit me up after like 10 years and was like, what up? I'd be like, not you. Gotta go.
What I kind of liked, though, on the flip side of that, is when he goes to his cop friend, and he's like, my ex-fiance gave me this letter and says her daughter's gone missing. And the guy's like, well, what are you supposed to do? What should we do about it? Like, I don't know. Take a statement. Like do something.
Your job. That's what I expect you to do. To get this information to someone that can do something there.
The proper authorities, yeah. Because in the original, he is going there as a cop. Like, it's not like a personal thing at all. He's literally given the assignment of like, you need to go to this island
Yeah.
to investigate a missing child.
And they pretty much are like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
they
of
welcome
course,
him. They're like,
please, come on
hey,
in.
come to our bar,
But
drink,
what
stay
highway
here.
patrolman or regular cop would be put on assignment to go to an island?
Well, in the original, he's just a detective.
It would be like a federal thing, right?
Well, not only that, I mean, the whole premise that he shows up on the island as a cop on official business, he has no jurisdiction in any way, shape,
That,
or form
and
where he is.
Apparently, no one there knows
Precisely.
what a cop is.
Well, also, not for
Like,
nothing.
what is a cop? And
Not
he's
for
like, I
nothing,
have a
but-
badge.
Well, not for nothing, but like it's also like they're like, this is a private residence. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, a couple miles off the coast. So you're still in the state of California legally. Like you're still like beholden to the law. Like it's just swim away. I'm like, Catalina's not its own nation state. And like,
The more we talk about this movie, the more awful it is.
it's so bad. It is now. It is somewhat famous in internet meme culture for the bees and a few other memes.
oh God, not the bees.
Although, where's my gif of him on one of the many bicycles he steals?
I wasn't expecting the goofy bicycle scene, and I also wasn't expecting his knees being broken backwards.
That's in the director's
was-
cut we watched. We
yeah.
watched the director's cut for anyone who wanted.
That was
So we did not see James.
that was
Franco.
more intense than I expected. Not much, but I
Well,
was.
yeah. It's what's weird too is they cut it, but I'm not even sure why. Because I'm sure it was released in the theaters with an R rating, so I don't know what.
What would have given it an R rating?
Oh, he curses all a bunch,
Yeah.
and then I mean, there's
Does he?
yeah, and there's
Yeah.
some violent imagery.
You use
and,
the word fuck more than once in
Yeah, yeah.
any film, and you're
I don't-
automatically getting that hard R.
For some reason, I don't remember that.
I mean, there's a naked woman covered in bees.
Yeah, but she's covered in bees.
yeah,
Can't see nipples. There's bees there.
Yeah, there's bees. That's not nudity. That's bees.
but it's artistic.
You're not wrong.
What's your bee to nudity ratio before it becomes indecent to you, Brian? How many bees?
You gotta have at least 26 bees on you.
26 bees.
Yeah.
That's a
26
small
So if it was
number.
some
of
kind
bees.
of like bee bikini, like a bikini, if
26
you will.
bees should be able to make a bikini.
A bikini.
The bees need to be covering at
Now-
least enough to be considered pasties.
What about the type of bee? Like, what if it's hornets or wasps? Indecent
Oh, that's
now?
that's an R rating immediately.
Spiders, high rating. Bees, it's fine.
But like
Bees, like honeybees.
Like carpenter bees are kind of like they're kind of fluffy, right? So maybe not.
I don't know, Brian. Are carpenter bees kind of fluffy?
They're big and fluffy.
Yeah.
I don't know my bees, unfortunately.
Carpenter bees are pretty fluffy, but they'll do.
I
You didn't
don't-
do your homework
They'll
for this
fucking
cast.
they'll
I'm
do
disappointed
holes.
in you.
They'll put
Brian,
holes.
unlike you, I'm not that familiar with how to cover women with bees.
Carpenter bees will put a lot of holes in your wood in your home, so don't do that. I don't know if they put holes in people, but
So I shouldn't cover a woman with carpenter bees.
I don't know if they're made out of wood. Probably not.
Don't cover your wooden
Wait,
women.
wooden
in carpenter
women.
bees.
Do not get your carpenter bees near Pinocchio or
My naked Pinocchio
Yeah.
should not be covered in carpenter bees.
Wait,
Carpenter bees.
This has taken a weird turn.
I'd like to
I'm
continue
okay
to
with it.
explore this.
I prefer this.
What are we
to the
supposed to
Wicker
do?
Man.
No,
Talk
this is
about
a
the
good-
Wicker Man? Fuck
Well,
that.
no.
Pinocchio and the carpenter bees.
That's a weird porn
So
that
is
I
like
don't want any
Pinocchio's,
part
like,
of.
daughter that in this scenario I am dating now and have decided it's time for us to take our relationship to the next level. I need to cover her in bees.
But not carpenter
Not
bees.
carpenter bees. Well, if she's made of
You'll
wood,
never,
no.
You'll never get married with carpenter bees.
What do you mean I'll never get married?
You
Oh,
said
because
you
she'll be
need to take
dead.
it to the next level. Yeah, if you get carpenter bees,
Right,
you're
she'll
not
be
getting
dead.
married.
I'll
Yeah.
have murdered my wooden wife, the
Exactly.
daughter of Pinocchio.
Exactly.
who would become my father-in-law.
It's a weird movie. Let's make it.
Yeah, that sounds great. I've got a new idea to remake The Wicker Man.
The Wicker Man, Pinocchio.
Pinocchio Man.
That's the reveal. Pinocchio, the dad, is the Wicker Man I get put inside at the end.
But then you have to burn the dad alive.
Yeah. He is willing or whatever.
Ah.
So what is part 2 of The Wicker Man? What do they get after the sacrifice? I know you mentioned that.
More honey.
Yeah, I guess a better harvest next year.
But like,
But you
what
don't just
if that
harvest honey
doesn't
once a
work?
year.
Do they sacrifice more? Do they?
Yeah, and I guess in the theatrical cut, they have this extra scene where James Franco and Jason Ritter come in, and Lily Sobieski kind of like gives them eyes, and you're like, oh, the cycle continues. So I guess they always are sending women out to seduce men and become impregnated so they can later lure them to the island to Wicker Man them.
The quote unquote voice of God basically says that when Cage meets her in the garden.
Oh, Ellen Burstyn, yeah. She's like,
Yeah.
yeah, people rumspringa here. It's cool. It's a thing.
Yeah, we need men for breeding, and then
We love our men.
Sometimes they leave the island, and then
By the
we
way,
let-
if you ever use the word breeding, you're a villain. Just a fun fact. If you ever have said the word out loud, well, of course we love to. Of course we use
About people and not animals, or anything.
Even then, it sounds weird. It's an evil sounding word. It's hard to be the good guy and be like, and of course we practice breeding, and you're like, what?
she basically says that sometimes the women will leave the
Yeah.
island, go to the mainland,
Yeah, rumspringa. Yeah.
and come back in a few years after they've bred.
Sown their wild oats. It's coming to America, but with bees.
after they had raisin toast,
Yeah,
Raisin toast.
a form of breeding, or bread. Sorry.
Sorry, breading. I thought you said breading. This
Breading.
movie's very different.
No, this is not at all what I signed up for.
Wow, I have a whole different interpretation of this film now. They weren't making bread?
I thought that's what the honey was for.
Honey wheat bread. Ooh.
Not for the honey butter.
Do you think instead of the Wicker Man, it should have been the giant version of the Honey Nut Cheerios bee?
I'd rather watch The Liquor Man with Nicolas Cage drinking a lot of liquor.
It's called Leaving Las Vegas. You want an
Yeah.
Oscar for it?
Why didn't we watch that?
Are you trying to find a way to lay down and still record?
My back is killing me.
Are you
back
losing bone density? Do you have osteoporosis? Like you make it
Do you have
sound like you're
hollow-
getting shorter.
Yeah, do you have hollow bones?
I have terrible posture, and I just had a very deep tissue neuro massage therapy session the other day. It was amazing.
But how many bees did they cover you in beforehand?
How many bee stings does that
24.
take to
So it's
train?
it's an R rating. Yeah, it's not
24, so
26.
you were essentially naked.
right. It was very revealing.
Lewd.
Yeah.
Lewd and lascivious.
I'm
sir.
actually selling those on Patreon if you want to buy them.
Yeah, that's our Patreon. It's pictures of Brian covered in bees. It's like, hey, our Patreon's really taken off. And then we just got this letter told that we were basically peddling porn.
I'm concerned about your well-being.
This is being awful.
I haven't heard this many bee puns
Since
since
the
I
film
watched.
Bee Movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Barry B. Benson.
that was a movie that we should be talking about right there.
Is that a prequel to The Wicker Man?
The B movie?
Probably.
The B movie, a B movie or B movie?
So wait,
Or
is there
it's an
like an
alternate-
alternate? Yeah, is there an alternate like B movie where the bad ending is the Wicker Man?
That movie already had a bad ending.
He sues humanity and wins, right?
Yeah, and ends up getting a human woman,
Oh yeah, he tries to have sex with a human woman,
and I'm pretty
and
sure he
she's
succeeds.
into it.
And this is a children's movie.
Yeah.
And the woman, the boyfriend, voiced by Patrick Warburton, rightfully at one point is like, he's a bee,
Yeah, I feel like
and it doesn't phase anyone.
Like somehow he's the villain in all this.
Stop trying to have sex with a bee. Stop trying to cheat on me with a bee. Yeah, he
that's
sues.
fucking weird.
He sues humanity.
Oh, I get it now. So that's what the bee room was. The naked woman with bees. That was a bee train.
I'm gonna make a beeline out of here.
This bee sucks. Is that how this works?
Good one.
Thanks. Buzz. Buzz. This was awful.
The cast or the movie or both.
Well,
The
like,
cast? I mean, Ellen Burstyn is a great actress, and obviously
I liked the woman that's in American Horror Story. I can't think of her name.
Frances Conroy is a great actress. Molly Parker from Deadwood is fantastic. I mean, this is a good cast. Thomas Jane is there briefly for 5 seconds in a bar for no reason.
Was it the very beginning?
Yeah,
So
I
he
think
literally he gets his tab and he leaves.
He was in a previous Neil LaBute film, so I think it was just like hey, come down to the set, I guess.
Come on by. We'll credit
This is
you.
pre-Dark Knight and Battle Los Angeles and other
You
great
talking about
films.
Aaron Eckhart?
Yeah.
Oh, you said
He
Thomas,
said Thomas
Jane.
Jane. I'm very
Same-
confused.
same-
It's
guy.
literally the same person,
Sorry,
but
same guy. Yeah.
it though?
It's so weird because in my head I heard Aaron Eckhart when I said it. Thomas Jane. Okay. Yeah, they're the same person.
Literally?
No. Yes, Corey, literally. I have a huge scoop to break to everybody.
Kind of like how Garth Brooks and Chris Gaines were the same guy.
I walked in on Thomas Jane one day, and he was putting on long blonde sideburns, and I went, "Oh my god!" And he was like, "Don't tell anyone, please." He begged me, and I went, "Fine, just don't make a Punisher fan film." He went, "I promise." And then that motherfucker went back on the deal. I saw that dirty laundry. He called me and he went, "There's no logo. There's no logo." And I went, "We had a deal."
I can see that.
And then 10 years later, you made a podcast.
yeah.
10 years later, I've dropped the bomb, Tom Jane. See how long you last on The Expanse. Maybe you're already dead and you're not on that show. I don't watch it.
I didn't know he was on The Expanse.
Yeah, he's on The Expanse.
Or is he?
Tony, my roommate, for anyone listening, is
You've heard about him before.
yeah. He loves that show, and
I hear it's great. Can't wait to watch it. Except
What-
for one thing about it.
what's that?
Aaron Jane. Thomas Jane. Aaron Eckhart.
Oh,
Tom Eckhart. Would that have been better?
yeah.
Maybe.
So let's workshop it. Which is better?
You're talking about something I don't know about, so I don't know.
Talking about Aaron Eckhart and Tom. What do you mean?
No, I
don't
know,
about-
but like I didn't. You were talking about a show I don't know about, so I don't know if that was an actor I didn't know about or an actress I didn't know about.
You're on the Tom Jane train.
God damn it.
Fuck these puns.
That wasn't even a pun. That
Or
was just an unintentional
or
rhyme.
or the Aaron Eckhart. It's a cart I push around with Aaron Eckhart's face.
Now that's a pun.
Boo.
Look, the point is, one of those people, Aaron Eckhart, right? Aaron Eckhart,
Yes.
is in The Wicker Man for 5 seconds inexplicably. I think I'm confused because doesn't he have like a mustache the way Tom Jane has in
Yes.
like Boogie Nights?
Correct.
I barely remember it.
Boogie Nights?
No, the beginning of the movie. I know you mentioned it, like when he sat down, got his tab and left, but
Yeah, Tom Jane's in Boogie Nights with the mustache.
You mean Aaron Eckhart?
No, that's Tom Jane. Or is it? Not since Dylan McDermott and Dermot Mulrooney have we ever been this confused. So anyway, Nick Cage dresses up as a bear, punches some women.
This happened in the movie, right? We're not just. This isn't just like something happened today.
No.
I thought
Not
it
that
was.
I know
I thought
of.
it was really strange that the ex-fiance, she looked upset and or sad to be killing him.
Yeah,
but at the
she
same
didn't wanna
time,
be
like,
doing it.
but at the same time, she totally wanted to do it. She was through it all the way, like, or with it all the way, like.
Yeah, it's again them trying to
it's
add.
just regrets.
It's them trying to add some
It didn't do anything.
stakes emotionally, but you don't really care about them,
just
so who
bad.
cares? You know, like. Well, it's the problem is at that point you're at the end of the movie, and the movie is under the assumption that you really are invested in this, which you're not, because
The only
it's
way,
terrible.
the only way that would have like moved me is if she like changed her mind last second and like jumped into the Wicker Man and died with him or something.
That
But
would not have moved.
That
me.
would not have moved me.
It
I would have
would've
been
made-
like, well, that was
I
pointless.
agree. It would be more interesting.
More
No, no,
interesting.
no. Like, what if she tried to like get him down from there, but then she ends
As-
up being put in the cage too
Yeah.
Sure,
with Cage?
something, but I don't know. I don't like having the middle line where she's like, I'm sad, but I'm also singing these prayers
Like,
where I'm sacrificing my
Make it more horrific,
love of my life.
and have her like really happy that this ceremony is going on because she's actually completely freaking brainwashed, right? Have her be really happy, or have her actually try to save her partner, and then she dies too. But this weird like melancholic look on her face, like it just like I don't know. It was like a
Look, we've
dull
all been
note.
there. We've all dated that person that your parent just cannot stand. And just like this girl in Ellen Burstyn, you gotta suck it up for the family.
When they're gone, you're a little sad about it, but you're fine with it.
Yeah.
you'd be
Watch
good.
them go.
And you're sitting there and you're ghosting them or burning them in a Wicker Man or whatever your family does. And
Or taking their child and having them burn them alive.
yeah.
Man, y'all's family's fucked
Yeah.
up.
I liked how the daughter wasn't conflicted at all. I did kind of like that she was like, okay.
She's like, hey, Dad, have this torch. Brown.
She ran away like, I did it.
Yeah, she's like skipping along, singing happy songs.
She's like, I fucking rocked it. I'm so good at this. It's a shame I don't have more dads to burn.
She's like 4 years old, 5 years old, like
Something
Yeah,
like
five
that.
or
Real
six.
young.
I think they said she was 5.
Way too young to be like
Killing
burning
people.
your dad alive. You gotta wait until they're at least 13.
You sound
What-
like that sounds a little.
What happens
Sounds like
at
you had a
13?
sheltered upbringing.
What happens at 13?
I was
that
burning
makes it
people
okay?
at 6.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was Wicker Maning people years before my bar mitzvah.
I don't think I have much else to say about this Wicker Man.
I would like to go back and talk about bees.
However,
So carpenter bees and common honeybees.
So what is a carpenter bee? Just a bee that likes to eat wood?
They live in it, I think.
Oh, they live in it. So
Yeah,
their
they
hive
like-
is made.
They
in
like bore holes. So most of
it's
the
like
time,
this old house, but with bees.
most of the time you'll find them.
like a bee villa.
Most of the time you'll find them in a garage.
You get it.
yeah, well, in the wild, they bore into trees and
Right.
make nests out of the trees. So they don't have to spend energy building a nest. They just carve one out.
Oh, okay.
But the problem is, especially around this part of the country, they love to go and just eat your porch and eat your house.
Your porch, your
It's-
house, your
yeah.
garage. It's all just bee city.
They're also very large bees, like very large.
What are we
So
talking
you
about?
actually need fewer of those to accomplish.
So 13 bees could
Yeah.
make a good.
If you put one on a
Something like
quarter,
that.
it
Maybe-
would fill up most of the quarter. They're big.
Yeah, they're pretty
Yeah.
big.
They're
Yeah.
So
heavy.
you only need like an nth of the number of bees to be able to achieve a PG-13
So when
rating.
we do our
I'd
Patreon,
say-
how many are we gonna need for you?
12 to
Brian?
13.
Wow.
Yeah, like
Wow. You know what they say about a man and the number of bees it takes to cover it?
Now, I mean, for a man, 12 to 13. For a woman, maybe like 16. I don't know. Depends.
Fucking patriarchy. I tell you what.
I mean, unless I'm wearing pasties too. I don't know.
Made of bees?
yeah.
Basties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beasties.
Wasn't that what the Beastie Boys were? It was just a hive of bees
Yeah.
singing, quote unquote. You're
I mean, I guess that's what their voices sound like. I'm not a big Beastie Boys guy.
not a big Beastie Boys guy.
No.
Oh.
I mean, I like them, but not enough to like defend them. Certainly not on this podcast.
What's his, J.J. Abrams can have that. I'm good.
in 2 movies? I mean,
but apparently it's his favorite band. And 3 movies. 2
What?
Star Trek movies and Star Wars. He had
oh,
the
because he
fucking...
named the guy
yeah,
Elo Asti.
I don't know. I mean, I get it.
I
Like,
mean, there are dumber Star Wars names. We don't. Sleaze Baggin. Once Sleaze Baggino was canon, it doesn't fucking matter anymore.
I mean,
Yep.
if I made a movie, I'd probably name people after like stuff I like too.
So if you made a Star Wars movie, they'd all be like death metal names.
Maybe. I don't know. Death metal bands have pretty shitty names.
What's your okay? So you have to name a Star Wars character. What's your weird reference?
Come back to me.
Corey.
I nominate Michelangelo for Brian.
What?
What? I don't think you understand how this game works. Steve.
Ninja Turtles?
Ah, Christ.
Oh, Christ, my favorite Star Wars
Yeah.
character.
Christio, yeah.
Yeah.
Christian.
How about Bob?
Saget?
Yes. Famous Star Wars character.
Bobo Sagado.
Bob Saget, most dangerous bounty hunter in the galaxy.
Or that piece of shit Mike O'Malley.
Damn it, Bob.
Who's Mike O'Malley?
Fucking Nickelodeon Guts.
What?
The host for Nickelodeon Guts.
Why is he a piece of shit?
It was a skit.
It's a reference.
It's a skit or a sketch from MC Chris where he would like I don't know.
You'd have to hear it.
Yeah.
You'd hate it, but I get you. I get it.
So because
I
I
love
mean,
it.
since I don't know who Mike O'Malley is, I probably would not land with me.
Yeah.
But Guts
You
was
never
the,
wanted to get on that aggro, Craig?
Is that
That was
okay,
my
so that's the
childhood.
Nickelodeon
That was my
game show.
childhood.
Yeah.
I was more of a
dream.
Legends of the Hidden Temple
That was on
gentleman.
Nickelodeon too, wasn't it?
And I
So
was
you
more-
were going to be one of those dumbass kids that could put together a 3-piece puzzle?
So am I the
I was
only
going to be one of
one?
those kids who's probably going to get abducted by
Am I-
those strange men.
I was gonna say, am I the only
Out of
one
the
that's
wall.
am I the only one that's weirded out that show was mostly based around fucking old men grabbing little kids? Like
I'm sure you're not the only one weirded out, but I also think it adds to the charm.
I don't know. Guts was awesome though. There was a giant mountain.
What was the theme?
It was a
Good
giant
Guts.
mountain called the
Aggro Crag.
Aggro Crag. Or I thought it was yeah, and you get a piece of it if you win.
Yeah.
And so each side
What?
of the mountain,
You get like money if you win Legends of the Hidden
no,
Temple.
you got like prizes, but you
You got
also,
like a prize money, but
you
they
got
also
this-
gave you a trophy.
You got a piece
that
of
was
the
a
Aggro
piece
Crag.
of it.
And I had
And by a
dreams.
piece of it, I mean it was just a statue that kind of looked like it was made out of foam and shit.
When I was a kid, I had dreams about that Aggro Crag piece. I wanted that shit.
It's a weird dream, man.
I
was
guess.
dreaming about bees like a normal boy.
Wait, what? But so like Guts is just what else did you do? You didn't just climb the mountain for 20 minutes, right?
They had
There was like little things. I don't know.
Like, there wasn't
honestly,
an overarching theme like Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Maybe not as cool as that.
I don't remember what they
Nothing's
did.
as cool as
Nobody
that.
remembers
But
what they
this-
did other than climb that damn mountain.
But this thing they climbed was pretty fucking big, and it had different levels. It was almost
in
like
retrospect, thinking back on it, it didn't look that big.
is Figure It Out still a thing?
What is Figure It Out?
Figure it out.
Wait,
you.
wait. You
Fuck
guys
you.
never
Tell me
watched-
the premise.
You guys never watched Figure It Out?
What is it?
Okay,
They brought it back.
So Figure It Out was a game show where whoever the special guest was would have a talent, and the 3 or 4 panelists would have to figure out what their talent was.
Well,
and most of their talents were ridiculous. Like, my brother can eat cereal out of my stomach bowl. They would make a bowl.
That's not a
with
talent.
their stomach. And
That's an issue for DFACs to look into.
Right. Like, we can't afford bowls, so my brother had to use my stomach.
Is that from like Saw 6? What is that?
because I'm so malnourished.
The key is in his stomach. You
But
must eat it out.
they would-
Here's the milk.
They would do like, it was like keywords, so you would have to figure out like the 4 keywords or the 3 keywords. And if you said the special word of the day, you got slimed.
It sounds terrible.
It was pretty
Sounds
awesome.
like the shittier version of Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Most of these game shows were admittedly pretty half-baked and cheap, but this one sounds like a real afterthought.
It had most of the people that were the panelists or whatever were from all that.
That was the like Saturday Night Live sketch show.
Which I'm pretty sure they're bringing that back, too.
I mean, it's a sketch show, so like bringing
Yeah.
it back.
God,
I mean, it's just doing a sketch show, right?
Yeah.
Like,
the host, Steve, did you watch Figure It Out?
No. Well, I mean...
you don't remember this? Can you
I
see
don't
that?
remember her name.
But you remember this though.
Yeah.
So that was the original host. That's the new guy. From I don't know. He just
Let the transcript show that
I can't...
photos are
I
being
don't
displayed.
see who that is.
this is excellent podcast content. What other photos from Google Images would you like to show us?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not inclined to watch the original Wicker Man after seeing this.
Oh, it's real
you
good.
should.
It's
It's
very
way better.
different. It's
Yeah.
not-
It's a much better film.
it's got Christopher Lee, which is also a big
Alright.
boon.
Just imagine though that like your first beer was a Pabst Blue Ribbon that had been cut with water.
then you would drink another beer.
No, I'd be saying this beer tastes like crap. And no.
Did you like
Corey,
your
what
first
was-
cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Corey,
I
what
feel
was
like
your?
that's more accurate. I think the more accurate statement would be like if you watched Wicker Man and went, "I'll never watch a movie again,"
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
Wicker Man.
Corey, what was your first beer? A Pabst
Red
Blue
Stripe?
Ribbon? Red Stripe.
That sounds about right.
And that's how I feel about the Wicker Man.
That's how I feel about the Wicker Man. Anyway, the Wicker Man's like that. It's the
Yeah.
red stripe of movies.
Well,
I'd say it's the Busch Light of movies. As far as I'm aware, most beer companies do also can water in their beer cans
They do.
to give to bands to be like, hey, market our beer. Drink this beer on stage, even
Yep.
though it's
Well,
water.
they do that, and
They send it as aid.
if there's a major disaster or something, they'll shut
Mm-hmm.
down production for a day or two and just can water.
Yeah.
I'll never forget my disappointment
Because
when I
it's
found
super
out.
easy for them to just switch over with the machines.
I'll never forget my disappointment when I found out the bands weren't actually chugging monsters on stage.
You
You
really
thought
thought
they
that
were?
that's what they were doing?
I was
They
like,
were just like crushing monsters.
just crushing
I mean, if it makes
6
you feel any
monsters.
better-
They're like, "What's up, bro? I'm fucking Kyle." And like,
If it makes you feel any better, that time we saw Marilyn Manson, he was definitely drinking real alcohol.
yeah, but no, like I don't know. I realized it. I can't remember what year it was. It was forever ago, but we were friends with one of the bands that was playing, and they're like, "Hey, you want some water?" And I'm like, "Sure." They handed me a fucking monster, and I was like, "The fuck? This is interesting."
You're just like, oh no, you weren't up there just chugging these and punching drywall?
In reality,
Shotgunning
have you
fucking-
ever chugged Monster?
Hell no.
Yeah. So why do you? Wait, why?
'Cause I thought
wait,
they were
Corey, why did
badass.
you
Thought you were
Because I saw someone do it on TV, Dad.
thought they were fucking rich and they could just do that.
I was thirsty.
I was thirsty to be dehydrated.
and then I got heart palpitations, whatever. My hands wouldn't stop shaking, and I realized I'd made a grave mistake. There's so much sugar in those cans.
I just pounded 4 monsters and now I can taste colors.
Yeah.
Just don't drink
Juice
fucking.
synesthesia.
Don't drink fucking bangs if you haven't had
What
one.
are
Don't do
bangs?
it. Just don't do it.
What are these?
It's literally Monster, but like add creatine and 12 more pounds of caffeine and fucking sugar.
And horse
Do
tranquilizer.
you get those off of the Bang Bus?
Yes. We're not going deeper into that.
What's the Bane bus?
We're not going deeper into this.
What is the Bane bus?
This is where we end the podcast.
No, wait.
And you should really
is
hit
this
that big red square.
Is this a wait? What's the Bane bus? Is this a
Wait,
thing
it
you
depends
were
on which one Steven's talking about. Are we talking about the
How many-
books?
how many-
Or are we talking about?
How many Bane buses have you been on, Brian?
Brian, several.
I'm talking about the one from Dude Bro Party Massacre, but
Talking about both.
okay,
At this
Wait,
point,
what's
I'm
the
talking about
other
both.
one? What's the other one?
the other one is the one that people get banged on.
Is this an actual bus you go on?
Yeah,
Well, not you,
not me specifically, maybe.
because you're not desperate for money and living in Van Nuys.
It's a porn channel.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Corey. Fucking idiots. You fucking obtuse motherfuckers. What do you think I'm asking?
Like fake taxi, interview couch.
Gotcha.
all that.
I'm on board.
Yeah,
I'm on
all
board.
right.
Thank you for your clear explanation, Corey.
I was hoping someone else would say it. But no.
I was just beating around the bush.
I've been David.
I've been Steve.
Oh, you got me again.
Sometimes I be Brian.
I'm Corey. I'm out.
Fuck the Wicker Man.
You've been listening to Cattywampus. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr at CattyWampusPod. Email us at cattywampuspodcast@gmail.com. Music by Tilly.